Hey everyone, welcome back to another YSO video. My name is Pranjal and this is the SAT grammar rules that will help you get an 800. Alright, first let's go over the format real quick. There are 25 to 27 questions in each module of the reading and writing section. It has a time limit of 32 minutes per module. There are 11 to 12 grammar questions, which is the main focus of today's video. And one tip I'll give to everyone is skip to questions 15 to 16. That's where the writing questions start, and you can complete them quickly and then come back to the reading part and you'll have more time. Alright, first we have periods versus semicolons. Periods mark end of an independent clause. An independent clause is a sentence with a subject and a verb. It can stand alone as a complete sentence. For example, YSO is a student-led organization. YSO being the subject and led being the verb. And this sentence makes sense, right? It can stand alone. Next, we have the semicolons. They connect closely related independent clauses or separates complex list items. Or the new role is separating complex lists. For example, we have this YouTube channel prepares for the SAT. It showcases the hardest math problems. Here we have two independent clauses. This YouTube channel prepares for the SAT, and the second independent clause is it shows the hardest math problem, and they're both connected with a semicolon. That's perfect use. Another one we have which shows a complex list, and these are very common on the SAT. For the conference, attendees will include Dr. Emily Carter, a leading expert, Professor John Smith, a specialist, Dr. Angela Davis, a renowned sociologist. Here we have to use semicolons because if you wrote Dr. Emily Carter, comma, Professor John Smith, comma, a specialist, and everything just looks all junked up. So here semicolons basically make it a little bit more cleaner. I also have another incorrect example. He went to the store and bought some milk. Bought some milk is a dependent clause. Bought some milk, it can't stand alone by itself. He went to the store makes sense, but bought some milk doesn't. So here instead, what you could do is just remove the semicolon. He went to the store and bought some milk. I think that'll be fine. And my tip for semicolon versus a period is if you see them both in an answer choice, cross them both out. Why? Because they mean the same thing. Relates independent clauses, and one marks an end of independent clause. So they're basically putting two independent clauses together. Here you see again a period and a semicolon, which means you can cancel them both out. But if you really want to solve this, the best strategy is to read it out. For instance, a colorful calico rockfish can survive for a little over a decade, while the rough-eye rockfish boasts a maximum life. So you see, you stopped, when you were reading out loud, you stopped yourself that over a decade, while the rough-eye. That's one of the biggest tips too. Go with the instinct. Alright, now I have a question for you to try out. Alright, so the answer of this is B. Here, the SAT is trying to test you on your knowledge about separating complex items using a semicolon. So our first item will be offered storytelling. Second will be celebrated an important community holiday. And the third item is put on a puppet show. Here, the semicolon again is used to separate a complex list. But what I really want to show you is the repeating pattern in the question where complex semicolons are used. You'll always see a semicolon after to show that there is a list. Alright, here's another question that you can try out for yourself. So let's look at this question, and if you answered D, you're correct. I noticed that these are two independent clauses. Because I stopped when I was reading it. I stopped because it was to increase Latino representation in corporate settings. She found it so it's definitely an independent clause. If you look at A is a run-on sentence, which means it connects two or more independent clauses with the wrong punctuation. So A is out. Second, we have a comma. This is a comma splice. Comma slice again is you are connecting two independent clauses with a comma, without fanboys, which we will discuss on the next slide. So this one is a comma splice, out. C again is a run-on sentence because it's connecting with wrong punctuation. So your answer is D. Let's move on to fanboys. Fanboys can connect two independent clauses, but a comma is needed. For example, he's only 2.5 years old, comma, but, which is part of fanboys. You need to remember this. So here we have a comma and then one of the fanboys. Another one we have, this one's incorrect. So Lucy played in the rain, so she got sick. Here, our first independent clause is Lucy played in the rain yesterday, which makes sense on its own, comma, so she got sick. She got sick is another independent clause. Here, if we go back, we look at C. If there was a comma over here, then yeah, then this could be the answer too. But there was no comma. Alright, I have another question for you to practice your fanboys. Alright, let's read it. After immigrating from Mexico and obtaining U.S. citizenship, Octaviano Embricio Lorzillo. First, the tip I have for you is if there are long or names that you haven't seen, try to either make him shorter or just skip him. So let's say he entered politics, earning a reputation for being a fervent defender of Hispanic rights. In 1919, he was elected governor of New Mexico. In 1982, he became the nation's first Hispanic U.S. Okay, so here I noticed that these are two independent clauses. And what can connect two independent clauses? A period, a semicolon, or fanboys. We are not given period or semicolon, so it's gonna be one of the fanboys. Let's see. A, it has and alone cannot connect two independent clauses, so it's a run-on sentence. Let's cancel it out. Next we have a comma. It's a comma splice because comma cannot connect two independent clauses again. C, we have the right answer. We have fanboys, and it has comma and D, there's nothing, so you're just connecting two independent clauses with nothing. So our answer will be D. Alright guys, thanks for watching the first video of YSL grammar, and we'll be back with another one where we'll talk about em dashes and colons.